I want to call what you're doing, checking off all Airbnb's little suggestions here and there, this and that. I want to call
Yeah.
it stroking the robot.
Stroking the robot. Yeah, man. So
Because the robot wants to, he wants to be happy. So you got to make the
exactly.
robot
That's
happy.
exactly what it is.
Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, man? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while since we casted, man. There's been a lot going on. So, what's been going on your... Well, what episode is this? 47?
Yeah, episode 47. I'm going to go ahead and call this one the Myka episode.
The Myka episode. Whoa. Making it all about me. Making it all about me.
All right, Myka, go.
Nah, man. It's, things been good on my end. How about your end?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yeah, let's get right to it, bro. You have some big developments, and you've been teasing episode 47 out there for our listeners, and out there on Facebook land and Instagram and Twitter land, all those lands. And so people are like, what the hell is he talking about? Big stuff in episode 47.
Man, so few things actually. The biggest thing, the one that everyone wanted to know is how Airbnb lists your ranking. Ranks your listing. Because me and Josh, we were talking the other day, and we were just talking about how you're pretty much looking at how Airbnb makes money, right? Airbnb pretty much makes money off of bookings, right? You get booked, they charge a 3% fee, and they make money. So, like, remember we were talking about, hey, maybe Airbnb should go into the corporate world, right? And I'm like, and then we thought about it. We're like, that probably couldn't be good for them in totality because, okay, they make their money off of not only bookings, but how fast they get bookings because they make their money off of a plethora of bookings, right? So if you go corporate rentals, people are only booking, hey, you take once a month. They're only getting paid once a month, right?
Right.
So you, of course, want multiple people. So you want a whole bunch of rooms. So you want people staying 2 days, 3 days, 4 days out of the month, not the whole month, because it lowers your profit, right?
Right.
So that's what we came up with. We were saying, I did a little test run because after we started, we talked about it. I did a test run, right? I was like, I wonder how Airbnb just ranks your listing, right? So, okay, I did it on one of my private rooms. I was like, I just want to see if Airbnb would get this room booked quick, right? So what I did was I went in there and I just checked every single one of Airbnb's little suggestion tips, right? Just, hey, we're going to lower your price. We're going to give people an 11% discount if they stay for a week. We're going to give them a 33% discount if they stay for a month. And we're going to give them, and we're going to turn your Instant Book back on. I was like, all right, whatever. I just did it. I just like, boom, 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 did it, right? The next day, I got a month-long booking.
Whoa.
The very next day, I got a month-long booking. Someone booked the room for a month, and the guy's still here. But it was crazy because what it does is, I didn't turn smart pricing on. I just changed their rules on what they want because it's going to get because what they do is they want your listing to be appealing. I have 14 5-star reviews on this listing, and I think whatever price points, okay, you already have the reviews, and then the price points with it, boom, we boost you to the top, you get booked. And this is like not even 24 hours later. I was like, dang, I got booked that quick. But I realized, I adjusted, and guess what? And I found a little trick to it. I'm making like $5.95 a month off him for 1 month, which I wanted $750, but remember my minimum was $600, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I found out you can kind of manipulate it if you use a third-party pricing tool. And I kind of tested my timeshares out with this. So pretty much what you want to do is, let's say my private room, I want to make $700 a month off of it, right?
Right.
So, okay, I know that's my price point. So what you do is you do the same thing I did. You go click everything, but you're going to manipulate it a little bit. You're going to up your prices to make $700 a month. I'm going to pull up a calculator here. 700 divided by 30. You're looking at like what? $24 a night, right?
Right.
So what you're going to do is, what I did was, instead of doing the $700 a month, instead of doing $24 a night, I upped it because they're going to start taking out all those discounts, right?
Yeah.
So you do 700 times. I think I did what percentage was? I think it was 33% times 0.33. And then remember, these numbers are only going to change to whatever Airbnb tells you they're going to drop your price to, right?
Yeah.
Times 0.33, like 33%. So that puts me at 231. So that's 931 divided by 30. So my price ended up being like $32 a night, right? And then so I also added on their little fee, their 3% fee, so 931 times 0.06. Add another $55 to that. So this is gonna look crazy, right? 931 plus 55.86 came out to 986 for a month, but I'm gonna divide that by 30. So you're looking at like $33 a night, right?
Yeah.
So your whole goal is you're gonna place your price at a minimum price point in like beyond pricing at $33 a night. And then when Airbnb gives you those suggestions about where to lower your price, you're going to select all of them, instant book, lower my price, 33%, 11%, whatever. And what that does is it's going to shoot your listing to the top. And then you're going to go back into beyond pricing and resync it. And Airbnb is going to throw you to the top. And then you resync on beyond pricing, and it's going to shoot you to the top with your prices. And then I was like, oh, dang. So, yeah, we were just like kind of messing with it, but it works. It was just a little trick that we tried because I'm like, you kind of have to do a little bit of math, but it worked. I was like, yeah. So you end up getting your X amount of number. You're going to get your $700 a month because it's going to look like $900, but Airbnb is going to take off all those little. They're going to put in all those little discounts to where you're going to come out to $700.
Yeah, 10%, 20%, all that stuff.
Exactly, and you just added it to your price. But yeah, it was kind of interesting us sitting there talking about it because that corporate thing we were talking about. I'm like, I don't know if Airbnb get into that. He's like, Airbnb makes their money off open calendars. The one thing Airbnb doesn't like is blocked calendars. If your calendar's blocked, you go to the bottom unless someone's searching for places in Arlington, right?
Right.
Then they don't place any. I don't know that formula. I don't know how that works. The blocked calendar formula.
Wow. I want to call. I mean, this is just me thinking on the fly. You know how I do. I want to call what you're doing, checking off all Airbnb's little suggestions here and there, this or that. I want to call it stroking the robot.
Stroking the robot? Yeah, man.
Because the robot wants to, he wants to be happy. So you got to make the robot happy.
That's exactly what it is. That's what Airbnb is. Airbnb wants to be happy. So to make their money, they're going to put your place at a price point so they can make money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's what we have to look at Airbnb as. You have to look at Airbnb's business model. So it was kind of interesting how that works. But I mean, if you have a bigger place, it kind of screws you. But it works with the little thing you do if you use the beyond pricing thing.
And I want to call. You should probably patent this. I want to call the other thing that you've done that you do while stroking the robot is the artist switcheroo. And I've noticed you've done this before with okay, someone hitting you up on a little inquiry, and inquiry, and then and you kind of like, hey, you can go in there while you're chatting with them and raise your prices, bump them up just a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's called the artist switcheroo. And so you did that while stroking the robot. You combine two very powerful things to get paid. That's creative. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely the short B&B, the short-term rental business owner standpoint. Most people are in the Airbnb host standpoint. You got to learn how to maximize that profit, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I actually did that yesterday. That's funny you said that. I did that yesterday and it worked.
The artist switcheroo?
Yeah. Someone sent through an inquiry and I raised the price. So. Yeah, I do that all the time. So,
hey, it happens to us all the time. Sure, back in the hotel days, I'm sure they've done that to us a bunch, right? As soon as we start, I've seen it. I remember seeing that stuff. Like when I grab a price, and I start looking at spots, and then I go back to the one I was gonna get, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, where's that lower price I saw?
Yeah.
And but they have like big powerful computers doing it for them, right?
Yeah, they know what you're looking at, and what that's what beyond pricing is. They know what people are looking at, what are they trying to book, and that's where it helps out at.
Sweet. What else?
Yeah.
The other big thing I want to dive into in just a minute is like a big change that recently happened, something to do with a contract expiring on you or going,
Oh yeah.
I'll dive into that, but real quick, I'll dive into me a little bit before we jump back into. I know this is the Myka episode, but okay, yeah, we went on a trip to I was gonna say South Padre. We went to a Corpus Christi trip for spring break. And so we just got back from that, and that's why you and I hadn't talked to you in a minute because we haven't podcasted in a minute, but we did a little spring break trip, and I hate road trips because screw traffic. I can fly. What the heck am I doing driving in a car? And so me, my wife, and 2 daughters, and we had a great time, and so what we stayed at an Airbnb. I don't think you still haven't stayed at one yet. You got to do that.
Stayed at yours, man.
Oh yeah, best guest ever, man.
Yeah.
Super clean.
I stayed at 2 actually. I also stayed at one of our friends in Portland. I stayed at so.
Really? Oh yeah.
Last week while we were out of town, we stayed there.
Heck yeah. So anyways, we stayed at a little bitty Airbnb. And it was cool. It was like 400 something square feet, right? It was small, but the way she set it up, man, she really maximized her space, and it's really, and that's what's cool about when you stay at other people's Airbnbs, you get a lot of ideas. And so I like how she made a little, she put a little island there to put dishes and stuff in. Of course, a sofa sleeper, and has a little balcony and stuff. And she used curtains instead of like big doors for closets to open and close, and that kind of helped, in certain spots save space. It's just little cool ideas that she did. And so we've shout out to Cherry. She's a big fan of the show, by the way. So we got to meet her, and her husband swung by, and we chatted it up about Airbnb and stuff. And there's a lot of disgruntled Airbnb hosts out there. I mean, we come across it a lot, right? Like angry at the Airbnb system, but hey, you gotta use what you gotta use, right? And so so that was really cool, meeting some other Airbnb hosts and chatting it up and exchanging ideas and war stories. That's what we do. That's what we do on our show. And so we had a good time in Corpus and went to the aquarium and cool things like that. And so I always use every experience is a learning experience, and so I learned a lot, and I'm going to implement that. And I really want to up my Airbnb game, even though this past month, month of March, I've booked every single day in the month, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing, and to me, it could be a not so good thing because I'm like, man, perhaps I should have had my prices higher. You know what I'm saying? I think that, and because it's better to have higher prices and like 80% full than lower prices and 100% full, right? Sometimes.
That's true. Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm learning still. Every day I'm learning. I'm learning a ton from our fans, and from each other we learn a lot. And so so I really want to up my Airbnb game, and I'm getting excited about it, and that's where I'm at with that. I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about too, but let's talk about your big development. I mean, you were teasing that too a little bit.
My big development. So Wednesday, March 7th, man. This is actually really, it's a learning story. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of not sad, but Okay, so March 7th. This last year I've been working this contract down at Rent Center. I've been working in their corporate office, IT or whatever.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, like that Friday, which was Friday, March 2nd, they sent out this company-wide email, right? They're like, hey, no more working from home. If you have to work from home, you have to call in and verify it's okay. So from now on, everyone has to come into the office.
Yeah.
So everyone's pissed off. They're all disgruntled, going off, whatever. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I come in every day anyway, so wait, who cares? I work from home once every blue moon. So that Wednesday, like I come to work, and like all the doors have like all this little sign. Everyone must come through the front to get in, right? So I'm like, oh shoot. So this lady in front of me, her badge wasn't working, but she didn't read the sign. She's like, oh my God. She thinks she's been fired. So I'm like, nah, I think we have to go around, right? So we go in. Okay, everybody goes upstairs. I see like this extra security guard on site. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be some people getting fired today. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, well, if it's me, who cares? I've been doing what I want to do, So I go upstairs, I go sit down. This email comes out calling like 50 employees to come to this room, right? So everyone's like, this guy behind me, he's like, oh man, did you guys just get that email? And I'm like, nah, I didn't get it, man. And another guy's like, no, I didn't get it. And then the guy next to him was like, oh, I got it. So they get up, they walk off, right? They walk off, we're still working, and me and like all these other people are like, dang, where are they going, So 10 minutes later, man, like these people come walking up the hallway. Some are in tears, crying or whatever. And I'm just like, damn, what the hell, right? So one of the guys who sits next to me, they let him go. He kind of had tears coming down his eyes, and I look at him, and they're like, yeah, we're letting people go, right? So they pack up their stuff, they leave. Then they call the next group, right? Next group. I'm not in it. Call the next group. Finally, I'm in it, right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, dang, they fired people. So I packed up my backpack and just went down there, right? And I'm just sitting there. And they're like, hey, we're cutting contracts. We're letting most of the building go, right? So they ended up cutting like 250 people. I was a part of that 250. So I'm just sitting there the whole time. Like, this guy's talking, but I'm not really listening to him because I'm like in my head like, dang, this is probably what I needed. I'm like, dang, I'm sitting here every day. I can't get stuff done. And I'm really kind of smiling. I'm looking at this guy, and he kind of looks at me like, what are you doing? Because I'm like thinking in my head, but you know how you're like thinking in your head, but sometimes you're really smiling.
Yeah.
If people looking at you, you're smiling. He's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy over here, man? He's losing his job. So I'm kind of smiling at this guy, and I'm like, and so they're like, okay, everyone get your badge, go back to your desk, pack up your stuff. So I go pack up my stuff. By the time this is over with, there's only like 3 people left on my team, which I don't know how they're going to support all these systems, but hey, they'll figure it out. So as I'm sitting here walking, and it's like people walking by me crying, and I'm like packing up all my stuff. I get all my stuff, and I'm walking, and I'm just like, and as soon as I get out to my car, I call Mahogany. I'm like, hey, they cut my contract. She goes, good, now you can work on the business. So, I'm like, well, okay, whatever. So, but it made me think about like what all we're trying to do. It's like, dang, this is what we wanted, financial freedom. Like, I've been at work for 2 weeks, and I'm not really in a rush to go back. I've been going to see arbitrages every day. I went to see 1 arbitrage today, and I'm going to see 3 tomorrow. I have the time to do it. Man, I've got my website done. I got my courses launched. I've just been able to do so much without being in a corporate rat race. You know what I mean? And now I'm realizing, like, I truly don't know if I want to go back. Like, I got so much exciting stuff. Like, this weekend I'm going to Vegas. Next week I get to sit down and talk with Ziona McIntyre. So
sweet.
Yeah. So like
awesome.
Everything's starting to happen for me. It's really because of time. It's time. It's like, really, I've realized, like, working in the corporate world, it's cost me time. It was like, time is invaluable. My dad used to always tell me, he said, man, time is so invaluable. Like, when I told him I lost my job, he goes, man, just keep doing what you're doing. He goes, your time's invaluable. He goes, you can do so much more with all that time. So I don't know if I'll go back to, like, working contracts, but I don't know. I'll see. But that's pretty much my big last 2 weeks.
Bravo. Way to get fired. I'm sorry.
No, you can collect unemployment too.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
But one quick question: aren't they supposed to fire people on Fridays? What's up with the Wednesday firing, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That Friday firing, yeah. Then I guess if you fire everybody on Friday, they go out and get drunk, and then have to worry about them getting home. So
right.
Wednesday, I don't know. I guess you're more inclined to put on a suit the next day and go look for another job.
Yeah. I guess maybe Wednesday's the new Friday. Who knows?
I don't know, man. But I mean, and I realized something. Maybe some people are good at jumping off the edge. Some people need to be pushed off the edge. And I'm like, maybe I just need to be pushed off the edge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go do what you do. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting.
On a smaller scale, I wasn't called for overtime tomorrow. My official days are for Wednesday, Thursday. But I've always worked every single Wednesday, Thursday, and I might take off the occasional Saturday, you know. And so I work about 6 days a week, sometimes 7. And so, but they didn't call me for overtime tomorrow, so I'm off tomorrow on a Wednesday. Ain't that, you know? Just now, I just thought of the irony right now.
Yeah.
And when I heard it too, I was like, that's cool, you know. At first, I might have freaked out back in the day, but now I'm like, that's cool. I can get so much done, you know, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm not upset or nothing. I'm like, cool, man. Don't call me for overtime.
That's that true entrepreneur mindset, man. It's like, okay, dang, I have other business to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, dang, even look at this poster back here I got made while I've been off, man. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. I got one coming to you too. So yeah, man. I mean, it's just been time so irreplaceable, man. It's just, I really, and truly, I realized these last 2 weeks, I've been making more money without my job. Just in these last 2 weeks, without my job, I've made more money. I'm like, hey, my job's been costing me money. So
that's a good problem to have right there.
I know, like it was kind of crazy. I'm like, dang, my job's costing me money because it's costing me the time. I have a good virtual assistant. She gets everything done. Man, yesterday I was just killing it on Airbnb with the timeshares because my virtual assistant does all my time updates for me. So it's just like, I'm just sitting here like, boom, making money. Now I can go focus on arbitrage. I've truly turned my Airbnb into a business. It's a short-term rental business now, you know?
Wow. I just want to stop and like all the listeners out there, I hope that inspires y'all, you know? Everybody's I'll go back to it. But yeah, it just hearing that, you know, inspires me big time. And I just know there's people like driving around listening to our beautiful voices and like and thinking, wow, I want to get to that point. And it's so attainable. I mean, people really like Adam James, you know, you don't realize how much power you have.
That's true.
And that's awesome when he says that. And it seems like whenever you ask him a question, well, how can I get my my thing like this to make this much money? Well, and his answer is always like, well, just do it. You know, it's like,
just do it.
Just go do it. You know, and like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, you'll fail and you'll be, you know, or if you fail or don't succeed 100%, you still have your day job. You still have this and that. But
you don't fail. You just learn.
You learn. Yeah. There's no failures. There's just learning experiences. And that's so cool. And I heard another, I was listening, you know, I tell you, I listened to Bigger Pockets Money, and they had this guest on this past week. Of course, I don't remember his name. Maybe David something. And he, I don't know if you listened to the app. Did you listen to it?
No.
Well, anyways, he wrote the book like investing in real estate from afar or something like that. And it's a Bigger Pockets book. But he was on their show, and he was saying how he hustled his way through college. Yeah. He hustled his way through college, where he got out of college with no debt, and he had like $95,000 saved up. He was busting his hump working as a waiter, and you know, and people think, oh, waiting job, you know, that's the worst job or whatever. But he's like, well, this is he saw it as an opportunity to make the most money, and he hustled. He helped other people do their tables. He helped them. He always grabbed more tables. He did whatever he could to please the boss that owned the place. And she would reward him with better tables. And I mean, he made like a bad situation into like a money making opportunity just by hustling his ass off. Yeah. And he didn't want to get into debt. I mean, he, like I said, he scringed and saved, and he ended up graduating with college with not only with zero debt, but positive, you know, 95 grand. And he ended up, you know, getting into real estate. And it's a really inspiring story. And he talked about how he became a cop like after that, and he hustled his way through the academy. He just figured out ways to save money and to save and make as much money as possible. And and it's just like, and it inspired me in a way, because you know, I've told people before, I'm not a big fan of my job, and but I see he saw it as a means to an end. You know, and there's people out there that they got jobs and they're like, oh, I can't stand another minute. But if you do grab those little couple extra shifts here and there, a couple extra hours, work a little later, that money adds up. And if you can curtail your spending, you'll be saving like a nice nest egg to like a rope to climb out of the cave. The rope being freedom. You'd be using that money for to get more rope. I don't know where I meander, but anyways, but if you think of it like that, and why not try to bust your ass and be good at whatever job you're doing, and you'll get noticed, you'll get the little raises here and there, but put all that money into something that that you love, that you want to do. It might not be real estate, it might not be even like Airbnb, stuff like that. I know this show is heavy on Airbnb, but we talk about all kinds of things, share economy. You might have the next great share economy idea, rent out at your tree house in your backyard or something. I don't know, but the point is, if you could see beyond, just what's right in front of you and see over the horizon, I mean, it's just it'll help you get through the days, it'll help you get through the weeks and through the months, to all that hustling. It adds up, man, and we can bounce. Straight up, man. That is true, man. You hustle hard, man. I was working my job, I was literally working probably, like Grant Cardone says, man, if you know how many hours a week you're working, you're truly still an employee. I don't know how many hours I was working. I was working 40 at my job, coming home probably doing another 10. So I was probably working 50 hours a week. Now you cut out the job, I can get, like, by the time, like, you listen to 4 Hour Work Week. Yeah.
By the time I get up my day probably starts at 5 o'clock in the morning since I've been off work, right?
Really?
But yeah, by the time it's 12, I'm done.
But you're excited to wake up.
Yeah, I'm excited to wake up. Like, I get up, boom, I'm on. Like how I think you said it best. You were like, hey, man, if you ever were to lose your job, you ever quit, like, could you stop hustling? And I guess I couldn't, man. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, boom, 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 handle this. And then, like, tomorrow, my day probably ends at about 6:30 because I have my last viewing at 6 o'clock, right? I put everything on my calendar that I have to do. Been taking the word from Adam James, put it on a calendar. So my last viewing is 6 o'clock tomorrow. And then I'm done working for the rest of the week. I'm going to Vegas after that. Man, Thursday I'm out of here. I'm going to Vegas. So it gives you so much more time and freedom. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying I'm 100% off the corporate world, but I'm just saying right now. You know what I mean? If these things keep happening like the way they're happening, I don't know if I'll go back, but I'll see.
Nice. Put it on a calendar, y'all. If you learn anything about this from this show, put it on a calendar, write it down, and then do it.
Straight up, do it, man.
Another thing I wanted, because you're going to a little. How long are you going to Vegas for?
4 days.
4 days, okay. A little vacation.
5 actually, kind of.
5 days.
Thursday,
okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 5 days.
And how are you going to run everything from on vacation, man? How's it going to work? Is it magic? What's going to happen?
VA, baby, VA. Virtual assistant, Guesty. By the way, Guesty is legit, man. Guesty, you have to work with them to get their messaging system right, but once it's in place, man, it's easy. You won't have any more of that, because I hear a lot of people complaining, hey, I keep missing messages, Airbnb's messed up. You won't ever have that with Guesty, because as soon as a message comes through, you have an autoresponder that goes out to them, to the guest. As soon as that autoresponder goes out, and you get shot an email saying, hey, we just sent this message from your inbox. And also, I noticed with Guesty, I have been getting nothing but 5-star reviews ever since I've been using Guesty.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's I really realize what people want. Also, this is the time of the year, too. Spring and summer are easy to please guests because they want to go outside of the condo or whatever.
Yeah.
So then you're mainly selling amenities in this time of the year, and communication. The only thing you're really selling this time of year is amenities and communication. If you get those 2 things down in this time of the year, man, it's easy. Easy, man. I've been getting nothing but 5-star reviews. I think my last 15 reviews have been 5 stars. And simply because of the communication that Guesty puts out there, yeah, man. It's
how much does Guesty charge?
2% per reservation. $500 onboarding fee and a 2% per reservation.
Oh, it pays for itself though, right?
Exactly. 2%, that's, and then you up your prices. And then I'm also on Rentals United. So all my listings are going to be shot out to are going to be updated to VRBO and all the other listing platforms, B&B Hero, all those guys. So I'm opening up more opening up I'm putting all my listings on way more platforms. I have my own platform now too. If you ever want to book with me, all the listeners, go to sharebnb.com and go to book with us, and you can book any of my places directly through me.
Cut out the middleman.
Yes, sir. Cut out the middleman. So been working on that.
So and you said you're a virtual assistant, and that's a family friend. Is that what it is? Or
yes. I used we found a family friend. Before you call a VA, search around family friends. You can get them off Upwork and Freelancer, but definitely find family friends that are willing to do it. Like Lupita would be a perfect virtual assistant. Like outside of her cleaning, if she doesn't wait until she gets her business up, yeah, she'd be perfect for that. It's data entry.
Great freaking idea, man.
Oh yeah, it's data entry, man.
I'll put her to work right now.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many people that can easily do that. Like, I was actually, my cousin, it's funny, now that I've been posting all my Airbnb videos, my cousin actually hit me up. She's like, hey, what are you doing with all those properties and stuff? And I told her what I did. And I was like, because she said she was having health issues and she's out of work. And I was like, you could easily be a virtual assistant, rent out rooms in your house. I said, there's just so many ways to bring income in. It's just, so many ways nowadays just to bring in some extra income that you could easily do it.
Oh, that's cool, man. And I guess I get a little apprehensive when mixing business with family kind of thing, but it seems to be working good for you, right?
Well, this ain't my virtual assistant. Family.
I mean, well, okay, friends and family. Okay, I kind of group them together. Like they say, that businessman, that one businessman who used to have a lot of friends and family, and then he started and he hired them all for his business. Now he has neither, or something like that. Or he lost his business and now he has neither. Anyways, that was just like it's expression. I'm sure it works a lot. I'm sure it works out though too. People always talk about the bad of it, but
I ain't gonna lie. That's one of me and Mahogany's biggest things that we both agree on. Like when it comes to family, this is one moral we came up with this before we got married. We were like, look, when it comes to family, we will help them if we can, but we won't do business with them. Sounds messed up, but we won't do business with them. But the proceeds from our business, we will help them if we can. You know what I mean? Because if you do business with family, it turns real ugly. It gets ugly. I've seen it and the reason we came up with that is because we've both seen it with both sides of our family. So we're like, yeah, business and family don't mix.
Yeah, truth right there.
Straight up, man. I mean, and that's more power to you if you want to do it. But
right. And the reason I asked about the about managing, how are you going to manage while you're on vacation? But getting your eggs in a row. I mean, as long as you got your eggs in a row and everything's like what does it say? It can run itself. Yeah. It is possible. And I thought when we went on this trip to to Corpus, right? We left last Tuesday evening, and I thought, okay, all my eggs in a row. I got the cleaner coming in, because the cleaner that I used before when Lupita was out of town. I got her coming in Wednesday because I got a guest leaving Wednesday, and then I got a guest leaving that was leaving that Friday. So I was like, okay. I told her the dates, everything cool. I told her like Monday, everything cool. You got Wednesday and Friday covered. Yeah, I got it covered. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So we left out of town Tuesday, and we got there Tuesday evening. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna message her just in case she remembers. For her to remember that she's got to do it. Yeah. And no response. Text message, no response. Text message, no response. I was texting her like crazy. All right. I'm gonna freaking call her. I called, no answer. And this is Tuesday evening. I'm like, crap. I got guests leaving, Wednesday morning, and then I got new ones coming in, at 3:00 on Wednesday afternoon, and so I'm starting to freak out. And this went on all the way to the night, and I couldn't sleep, dude. I was tossing and turning. I was like, freaking, can't believe this. And I was like, it was like 2 a.m. and I was just like, and I couldn't, and I was like. First of all, I was thinking, why am I even renting out my house when I'm on vacation? Why am I putting this stress on me while ruining my vacation? I should be relaxing right now, with, drinking on the patio, watching the waves. But I'm over here worried about someone cleaning my house. I was just freaking out, dude. Yeah. And so finally, I was like, you know what? I can't call a cleaner this late, but my cousin Richard, shout out to cousin Rich. He he's always up late. I don't know. Mm-hmm. He parties a little, I think. But anyways, he does odd jobs. Yeah, Richie Rich. He does odd jobs for a living.
Definitely.
And he's my cousin. That's all I'll say. He does odd jobs for money. Anything you need, fence work, painting or branches on your tree. He does whatever. And he's the cousin that always calls you up or texts you like 10 a.m. Yo, dog, hey, you need a swing set? Some way.
Yeah.
He's the one that calls you up real late at night. Hey, man, you need a toaster oven? $20, I got. I guess stuff falls off trucks sometimes. But anyways, hey, don't assume, y'all. And so I hit him up. I was like, hey, man, I told him what the deal was. I was like, would you be interested in cleaning the house for this amount of price? And he said, yeah, man, I'll do it. Okay, here's the code. They guests leave at noon. I told him the drill.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, that same cousin, their phones don't always work too good either. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Unless there's Wi-Fi around, there's a good chance that phone ain't gonna be working too good. So he gets, I guess he's like, all right, man, I'm headed to the house. He texts me before noon. He gets there. I guess he gets there because I don't hear from him again until after 3. And I'm like, freaking, I'm trying to message him and stuff. Of course, his phone ain't working because there's no Wi-Fi, but there's Wi-Fi in my house. I just forgot. I should have told him the damn Wi-Fi thing so I can keep in contact with him. Because I like to know the minute someone finishes so I can tell the next guest, right? Yeah. That, hey, go ahead and, and so anyways, I didn't hear from him till like after 3, but I had, I called the neighbor in front of my house, Mrs. Young. And I asked her, hey, did you see a black truck out there? Oh, yeah, he just left. Blah, blah, blah. It was about 3 o'clock he left. And so I went ahead and told the guest that it's all right to check in. And I was like, he's like, yeah, well, sorry, I just saw your calls and stuff, but my phone, I wasn't around Wi-Fi, so my phone wasn't working. I was like, all right, dude, how did it go? He told me, oh yeah, I took some pictures, showed me some pics. He did a good job apparently, and I didn't get any complaints from the guests that came in. And anyways, yeah, I said, all right, dude, here's the Wi-Fi password. I want to keep in contact with you, and I want you to message me the minute you're done, and so I could tell the next guest on Friday. And so he did that, and Friday went real smooth. He got in and out. He cleaned everything. He even, he said he brought a lady friend with him, and she knows about hospitality service, and I'm not going to ask what him and the lady friend did while they were there. But they washed all the sheets and everything, so that's good. If y'all stay at my place, all the sheets and everything are washed every time. And so they even folded the towels all like cool, like hostel style and stuff. So they did a good job. Dang. They did a good job.
How much cousin Rich charging?
I'll tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
But I think he can hook you up for 60. I think he can hook you up for 60 for a whole house kind of deal. Yeah.
I'm about to hit up cousin Rich.
Richie Rich needs the dineros, man.
Oh yeah. I got Wi-Fi for him too.
Yeah. I want to hear him. Keep clapping. I hear you over there. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's what I was worried about bringing family into the fold, but I was like, I'm gonna give him a chance. And it worked out good. And so when we're out of town, I think I could rely on him pretty good. And he even said, hey, my mom, she's retired from teacher now, and she said she could do it anytime I can't do it, and this and that. And I was like, oh, well, cool. I might, bring family into the fold just a little bit. And it worked out. It was a little bit stressful, but and I was I was really freaking out. I was like, man, I don't want to be renting my house while I'm on vacation anymore because I just don't want to be nervous about it. But you get someone in there with a good track record, everything's going to go smooth.
Quick question. Well, yeah, because I understand you on that. What's your minimum price? Do you have a set minimum price now, or
for my house?
Yeah.
Man, I think
Or are you using like an auto price tool?
I use the Beyond Pricing,
Okay.
but I go in there, I tinker a lot, you know. When it comes to getting closer to and not getting rented out, I'll manually lower it. But I think my minimum is 70 or 75 a night,
Okay.
and so yeah, and I upped the cleaning fee to 65, and I think I want to eventually up it to 75.
Yeah.
And as Lupita hears me, and she's saying, "Oh,
Are you? Why are you
don't
out
worry, babe.
looking?
I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay you more. Don't worry." That was a little secret.
Making $15, huh?
But but anyways, yeah. So I want to, I'm tinkering with the prices. I'm bringing them up some because I'm doing pretty good at it now. I had a really good, like I said, real good March, and
Yeah.
and that's what I want to talk about too with you. And goals are very important. And I always thought if I can get $2,500 a month from my house, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got there. I surpassed it. I got like 2,600 something this month, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. So my next goal is 3,000. I want to get 3,000 a month, and I want to eventually keep going. And then I want to use money that I'm making to improve it and make it even really a better place, a more badass place. And that way I can just keep raising, keep experimenting with prices and keep trying to get them goals. There's my little girl. Hey, mama.
Are you on corporate housing by owner yet?
I am not. I tried that other one. What is the Furnish Finder. And they send me prospects, but I know you preached about the corporate, and everybody hears you too. People I talk to, they listen to the show. Oh, I need to get in that corporate thing because Myka's saying how good it is, and so.
Oh yeah.
But that Furnish Finder one, real quick, and I'll let you do your thing on Furnish Finder. They're sending me a lot of leads, but a lot of these nurses are just one person or two people traveling, and they're not looking for a big 3-bedroom, almost 4-bedroom house, like what I got, and they don't, they're looking for what you got, like the 1-bedroom condo, maybe 2-bedroom, depending. And I'm like, man, that's where it's at. If you could find a spot like those condos near the hospital districts, the 1-bedrooms all day long, man, they'll get those and they'll be on those.
That's actually what I'm going to look at tomorrow. I actually looked at today was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath over in Oakland. And that's more or less what I'm targeting now, because the reason why 1-bed and 1-bath is so lucrative is because a nurse or just somebody, an IT traveler coming into town, they'll pay a large amount, and then it's easy to furnish it. Your startup cost is super low.
Awesome.
But for what you're trying to do, you could easily find that on corporate housing by owner. You can easily find someone coming in with family, because you're going to usually get an IT worker, traveling nurses, a few, but you get the higher end of the corporate workers. And that's where I would say, yeah, definitely look into getting on corporate housing by owner, because you could easily, with your setup, you could do 3-bed, 2-bath. You could easily furnish that, get $3,000 a month right off the bat, up to $4,000 a month. It's just a matter of advertising, finding out what people need, and just kind of catering to it.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, man, you're on your way. Just you already passed your goal, because I'm actually on pace for my goal. Because I made my goal for the whole year, so I'm on pace for it. So,
damn,
man. So man, it's cool when we get those goals, man.
It
goals.
is cool.
Yeah,
that felt really good when I hit that mark. I was like, or I passed that mark. I was like, damn,
yeah,
I did it. Now I got to make another goal, a higher goal.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to keep doing that. You got to keep doing that. It's important. Write them down too. Write them down.
Matter of fact, I was listening to Al Williamson, and he was showing one of his arbitrages, and he said he had nearly tripled the startup rent from one of his arbitrages by slowly increasing his clients and increasing his his experience at his place. He just slowly gave him better amenities every single time, and now he's charging like 3 times the rent for corporate. So he's making a couple grand off a corporate rental. You know what I mean? So it's possible.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man, that guy's a genius. So it's possible. It's definitely possible.
That's my next thing, man. I'm gonna start looking hospital districts, trying to get those one B, 2B, 1B, 2Bs, man, or whatever.
Yeah. Seriously, that's a hot spot right now, man. If you get a 1-bed, 2-bath, or a 1-bed, 1-bath, or a 2-bed, 2-bath, something like that, it's definitely possible.
Now, another big caveat to that: a lot of these traveling nurses have freaking dogs, so you gotta find a place that's dog friendly, and you be making bank. Now, I'm not saying that all of them can bring their dogs, but if you had a place that was pet friendly and right by the hospital district, I think you'd be making a killing, because a lot of them have dogs. I don't know why. If they're traveling nurses, you don't want to have a dog, but a lot of them do.
They do have dogs, but I noticed the thing is, I mean, you can make bank, but then I know other people have had, hey, I have dogs, and I have not a problem with them. I just don't. Me personally, I always back away. I always say no pets. Even if the place I get it's pet friendly, I always say just no pets. Now just because of the extra liability.
Now here's a big idea.
Okay.
Let's say you have one of those spots, right? Like you have one of those 1-bedroom condos right by the hospital district, and you don't want to make it pet friendly. But if you happen to have a house with a yard at your own spot, and this might not apply to me or you, but I was thinking about this the other day. Man, you know how they do the doggy B&B or whatever?
Yeah.
You can kind of tie it in and tell the person, hey, at the condo they don't allow dogs, but you can bring your dog with you. I'll keep it here in my house for a certain fee. You'll be making money on that end too. Instead of you leaving it back in California with you at a kennel somewhere or whatever, you can still come see your dog whenever the heck you want. It'll be here at my house. I'll keep it here, and then charge a little fee for it, and there you go. You get the best of both worlds. If you're a dog person and you can take care of dogs, or you can just keep them in the backyard or whatever.
Going full blown share economy there.
Isn't that a freaking great idea?
Yeah.
I hope someone.
Because check it out. Speaking of going full blown share economy, I did some Ubering like a week ago. I think I did some Ubering.
What?
I did some Ubering. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I did some Ubering. So I was just, because my goal was, I was trying to see I'm not going to relate my specific Airbnb situation to everybody else, but I was just wondering, okay, I house hacked my house. I have other Airbnb rentals. I wonder if you could really truly just survive off of the share economy. And I was like, dang, I think you could, because, okay, make it Uber. I mean, it pays you like $13 an hour, it comes out to like $13 an hour doing an Uber. So if you could do that, you don't even have to do it 8 hours a day plus your Airbnb. It's pretty good money if if you have your Airbnb income coming in, So, but I met some pretty cool people while Ubering, I met this guy. He knew all the Uber hotspots, and I dropped him off. He goes, oh, yeah, you sit right here in this parking lot. I'm security here, so you can sit right here. You get the airport calls, and I won't tell on you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I met some pretty cool people. I actually let them know what I do. I met this British guy, told him about the podcast. And then also, while I was picking up people's orders, I keep our business cards in my car, and I just drop them in their doggy bags, and I take it to them. So, yeah, that was a cool way to advertise, too. So
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man, it was pretty fun. So I actually get time to enjoy doing stuff, you know what I mean? So.
And see, people that need Ubers, they're out there partying a lot sometimes. Those are the ones that really need a ride. And sometimes you can't get to the liquor store after hours. So if you could sell liquor out of your car, that's even more money.
Ooh, that's a good one. Alcohol delivery? I'm serious. That's a good one. Uber alcohol
We're
delivery?
just kidding, government. Don't listen to this. That was a joke.
I mean, no. If your Uber drivers were over 21, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. But imagine if they're delivering it, keeping the drunk people already off the road. Hey, that ain't a bad idea, man. You might want to patent that for somebody hops on it, man.
Got some pocket rockets right here for y'all in the back seat. Anybody need to keep the party
Uber,
going?
I don't know what you'd call it. Uber licks? Uber liquor? Yeah, Uber licks. I don't know.
That might be something different altogether, man.
Uber licks. Uber licks.
Oh, man.
man. But I mean,
But
yeah, it's so much
the
opportunity.
possibilities are endless, is what we're saying. The possibilities are endless to make money. The people that say, "Oh, we're never getting ahead," you ain't trying. You ain't trying.
I have a quick question. Did you raise your prices for next month, April, the end of April?
Oh, is that the draft?
Yeah, NFL. It's gonna be in Arlington.
Oh snap! I need to do that.
Gotta do that ASAP, man. Raise them prices because the NFL draft is coming last weekend of April, I believe it is.
Wow.
And that's gonna be a hot weekend. I think. No, I'm not booked. One of my rooms is open, so I'm gonna be man.
Dude, what date is it?
I think it's the 26th through the. It is going to be the 20. Let's see here. I got to do a quick Google search here. Yeah, April 26th to April 28th. So I think that's going to be. Let's see here. We're in 2018. So that's going to be from that Thursday through that Saturday. So I would up my prices from Thursday to Monday. So the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, I'd be charging for my private rooms. I'll probably go up to like $50-$60. Yeah.
Nice.
Those days. Yeah, man.
Then you could be Ubering too, right?
Yeah, you can Uber it up. I'll probably sit at the house, let my money work for me for those days, man. And then Final Four, the NCAA Final Four is going to be in San Antonio to our people down in San Antonio. And, yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff coming. One of my rooms is being arbitraged in May.
Your room is being arbitraged?
Yeah, man, this is why networking is king. So check this out. I'm so happy I have so much more time to do stuff like this. So I've been working with Josh. Josh came to me and I told him, hey, man, I'm about to start marketing my rooms to get $750 a month off of them, right?
Josh who?
Josh Adegboye. He said I was messing up his name. So just stop saying his name. No. So he came up to me and he's like, oh, so you want $750 for your room? So what he did was he went to his job because he works at Lockheed Martin's, right? So he went to his job and he told him, hey, I have a room for $950 a month. And then he hit me up. He's like, yo, you mind if I put her in your room for $950 a month? You just pay me $200 a month. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm all about networking, man. So he's like, cool. So he gave me the contract. So the lady checks in at the end of May, man. That's pretty dope.
Hustling the hustler.
Yes. So I was like, oh, I'll do that. I'll give you the $200 a month. I just want the $750 because the $750 turns everything in my house is now cash flowing with me living in it. So, yeah, man.
The student has become the master.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, $750. I was like, she gets $9. I was like, I don't care,
Man.
And then that goes back to not only networking, but that shows how business works, man. Like, build connections with people. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, no, I want the $950 for myself. Instead, you built a business connection. You got $750. That's all you need. And then, boom, you give him $200. You got a connection. So now I have 2 more rooms. He might be able to get those rented out. You know what I mean? And I'm building connections outside of Airbnb.
We need a cool sound effect. A sound effect like your ass got arbitrage. Something like
As a matter
that.
of fact, I'm going through one of my emails. Who is it from? We had an email from one of our guys, Gerald Lawhead. This guy, let's read what he says. He says, greetings from Bloomington, Indiana. Just want to encourage you guys to carry on both with the systems you're working and the podcast. I spend about 15 hours a week driving around Bloomington being a wheel in the man's machine, but I will go out with that system to thrive. I've got a lot of time to listen to podcasts, and I've listened to the complete works of LLT and want more. Would love to hear you guys and your guests talk more about working arbitrage deals, corporate rentals, vacation rentals, creative financing, talking a wife into house hacking, and killing it in short-term rentals outside of big cities. Keep going, guys. You got to motivate us to LLT. Shout out to Gerald Lawhead out in Bloomington, man. Bloomington, Indiana.
Gerald. That's what's up.
Yeah. So as far as working arbitrage deals, man, there's a few things you can do because that's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, man. You got to get comfortable hearing no. Because I had one guy, he was like, I told him what I was going to do, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to put corporate clients there. He's like, no, don't want it. I'm like, all right, man. Like, you could tell. So when he did that, I could tell like a lot of people in the area are starting to get into that arbitrages. But you got to get used to hearing no. And one good thing you can do is several things that I've been doing. Get an apartment finder and pay them to pretty much to market the business for you. Like, so every time they get a yes on a apartment that complex that says, yeah, you can do do corporate rentals / Airbnb here, you give him $200. Like, yeah, so he gets paid twice from his apartment locator company and from you, and it gives him incentive to find you places. And also get a listing, get in touch with a listing agent for deals, because I have one that goes out. I met one today, and she just sent me 3 of them since we've been on this podcast. So, I mean, yeah, working arbitrage deals, you have to give the owner an incentive, and just find somebody to work for you, to do it for you. Also, Facebook Marketplace is a great place to find them, because the owners are posting on there. I send out about 10 availability messages on Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, arbitraging, man, that's the way to grow quick. It's the way to grow quick.
Oh yeah, we preach that big time on the show, the arbitrage show.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as vacation rentals, we need to have a vacation rental guy on, because we're more short-term rentals than vacation rentals. Well, Steve's hopping into that market with the SPI.
SPI, if we get that, we're still going through the process, but if we get the SPI, I learned a lot of cool things from just staying at that lady's vacation rental, Cherry, and got my pen. But yeah, that's we do need an expert on here. It's even for just personal gains, because I want to learn from the expert that comes on the vacation rental, and yeah, we need to find one. Hey, any of you listening that does vacation rentals, hit us up, send us an email, call us up. I put my cell phone on the thing now. I want to hear someone. I want to see someone send me a text message. A person, don't be gross or nasty or nothing, but send me. Now I'm gonna get all dong pics, but anyways, don't send none of that stuff, please. And just send me a text and a shout, and just say, say you want to be on the show, and then, or if you just want to say hi, that's cool too. But if you want to be on the show, send us a message, and we'd love to hear from you. We love to hear every different aspect of the share economy and how you're renting out your houses and your spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah, and when you say killing short-term rentals outside of big cities, I think the biggest thing for that, I think the biggest people I think we talked to with that is probably what's her name, Jay and out in the podcast.
Yeah,
Jay and
Shampoo and Booze.
Yeah, because they do that. They kill it outside of it. I forgot what episode number we had her on. We're going to actually get them back on, because we want both of them on. But yeah, they actually real huge into that, because they've made huge success out of doing it outside of the big cities. And even James that we had on, he does it outside the big city. He did it outside of Fort Worth, So anywhere is possible, man. Anywhere is absolutely possible to get an Airbnb going. Corporate rentals are a little bit different. I think corporate rentals are need to be inside of the big city. But Airbnb, man, I think can go anywhere. If someone always needs a place to sleep. As far as creative finance, and this is actually the idea I had, a good way to get into Airbnb is lease to owns. If you ever see those for sale by owner signs, if you can do a lease to own on them, that's the fastest way to get into Airbnb. And then it's very low money down if you want to get into that. Yeah, that's one.
I saw one around here not too long ago. The house is really ugly, though. I don't know if I wanted to do it, but it was I thought about that. I was like, just to buy it, to rent it out and put it on Airbnb right away, because it was a for sale by owner. So I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna keep a lookout for those, and a lot of those aren't in the most desirable spots, but yeah, sometimes they are. Yeah. And what are we gonna say? I was gonna bring up Patreon real quick. I thought that was because we don't have advertisers. We send out a shout out to some people sometimes, and I don't know if we get shouted back so good. Yeah. Hopefully we do. But but yeah, if I'd like to before we here we go. We you know, like you said, time is valuable, and we spend time doing these shows, right? And we spent money on equipment to try to make the show sound good, and I'd like to continue to improve on how the shows sound. You know, maybe we both get. You probably have real good internet, but we both get, you know, professional internet, real good internet, and real good equipment, and just how I want it to sound like really freaking good. But all that costs money, and so here's one thing I threw out at you that we wouldn't need advertisers to do this. But it's a site called Patreon, and I'm making us a page. And my idea was to we'll still do our weekly show where we interview people, stuff like that. And but I'd want to throw a few episodes out there on Patreon, which is a site where you can donate money to our show, or, you know, pay whatever, a little bit of price, maybe $2 an episode, $1 an episode, or sign up for $5 a month, and you get unlimited access to like all these other episodes that we do, you know, like the ones that were me and you were just on, and throwing them up on this Patreon site, and if people want to pay for them, hey, that helps, you know, a few bucks here, a few bucks there, that's a better microphone, that's a better set of headphones, that's a better something, you know. And I think that and I'd like to use that. I mean, I don't want to, probably not going to get rich off of it, whatever, but I'd like to use that money to improve the show a little bit, and you're contributing to the show, and you're contributing to the share economy, and us helping y'all, and y'all helping us. It's like it's a cool thing, I think. And maybe we'll throw some t-shirts on there, or little coffee mugs or some LLT coffee mugs, stuff like that on there. So if you do do a little donation, not only will you get to hear, you know, some shows that, you know, not that we don't put out there for everybody, but you'll get like a little freebies here and there. I don't know, just a thought, just an idea before we dive into the world of advertisers, just to start this little thing, because we still want to give our free product out there, boom boom boom. But there's a lot of podcasts out there that has like 5 or 10 minutes of advertisers before they even like start talking about the show, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll pause during the middle of the show and say, "Oh, please hit up blah blah blah, and for all your blah 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 needs." And I'm thinking, well, it's kind of whatever, it's kind of tacky. But we might in the future get advertisers, who knows? But I'd like to try this out first, just to see if people want to donate a little to the cause, and then get some cool content out of it, you know.
Yeah. We definitely look into that. Definitely. What else was on there? Did
you think it was a good idea?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it might not be nothing, but I just thought we'd try it out, see what happens. If y'all want to really hear more of our show, you know, or maybe shows that we just cuss and talk noise.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of deliver them the whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Well, we've we're doing good. We're doing good on time. Did you what topic did you want to hit up next? I got like a million here. If you want me to throw another one on there.
I was going to touch on Gerald's last subject, because my cousin asked me this yesterday. Talking a wife into house hacking. I think I've talked about that a bunch of times. The best way to get into that is just pretty much show a check, man. She says no, do it anyway, and once that check rolls in, I'm pretty sure they'll be loving it. Now, my cousin's in another situation. She's trying to convince her husband to do it, so yeah, I mean, just show a check. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
And I'll go one step further. I'll beg and plead with your wife. Let's try one room. Come on, let's just do one room, and just do whatever. Say I'll take you. I'll use that money to take you out on a fancy dinner or something like that. Just beg. I mean, that's how we. The only way we can get across to women sometimes, we beg and plead. Come on, nag them, and that mom instinct kicks in. All right, you know, you can do it, but just this one time, and then they'll see the check, they'll see the money, and be like, "Oh, this ain't so bad, you know. This guest wasn't so bad. It wasn't a bad experience. They just went straight to their room. I never saw them. Boom, boom, boom."
Yeah, that's a good way to get it going.
So do whatever.
Touch on one more thing for his corporate rentals. Create a list of all the traveling nursing agencies and market directly to them instead of marketing to the travel nurse. That's a huge thing. Market directly to their owners, to their bosses and employers. That's the best way to get into that game, man. Oh man, I got an Airbnb request coming through. So what were you saying? Yeah, you said you have a bunch of subjects. Hop into them, man.
Okay, we'll see. We're getting already at an hour on the show. That's good. We're past an hour. But anyways, I tell you, I listen to different podcasts and stuff. And the other day, we got back from Corpus, right?
Yep.
And we got just relaxed that day a little bit at the end. I got back home later and had to work 6 a.m. Got off work and I had to change an alternator in my Trailblazer. I changed out the alternator because it was draining the battery. It's what keeps the battery going. For people that don't know, I'm sure I'm not a mechanic at all, but you apparently need an alternator after it wears out. Otherwise, your battery would just keep dying. So I said, I'm gonna tackle this project by myself. And I hear it from both ends. I hear it from the bigger pockets. Some of the guests come on there. Oh, you shouldn't even touch a job that you're not going to get paid $10 an hour or $100 an hour for, or whatever. You should outsource everything and then not do anything, and then you'll spend your time on your business, blah blah blah. But then I listened to something like the Mr. Money Mustache come on one of the podcasts. You've heard of Mr. Money Mustache?
Yep.
And he's all about try anything that you could possibly do for yourself. Instead of paying someone else to do it, you should do it. You should tackle it. You might be a time waste. You might lose a little money, but you're going to learn something new, and you might save money. You might learn how to do little ins and outs and save money in the long run. And so I was like, I'm going to tackle this. I got all money mustached out. I'm going to tackle this radiator, armed with my cell phone and YouTube. I'm going to change this damn thing. And so, yeah, it took a little doing. I was probably at it for 2 hours. And of course, in the back of my mind, I was like, I could just be working overtime right now and pay someone else to do this, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
but what
crossed your mind?
But yeah, it crossed my mind. But of course, it doesn't always that simple, because you take your car to a mechanic and they don't always just say you need an alternator. They're going to say you need this whole laundry list of things, and they're going to try to gouge you, right? So anyways, I knew it was just an alternator I needed. I switched it out, and it took me a couple hours to do it, which might take someone with the right tools about 10 minutes, but I knocked it out. And what they don't, I guess the people that say outsource everything, don't touch anything under $100 an hour, whatever. What they don't tell you, you get a little sense of pride when you do something like that. Do a little project. I saved money. I did it myself, and I got that swell of pride. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man. Yeah. And that's a good feeling to have sometimes. Even women too. They want to change out an alternator. That's cool. But I just had that cool sense of pride, saved money, and I learned something. So there you go. I mean, you can hustle, and you can make your own. You can make your own hustle. And that's what's cool about. There's no limits to what you can do. No limits.
That is true, man. So I've changed out a few alternators. It ain't that bad. I know what you mean. You can save some time. I personally wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Well, now you don't got a job. You might have thought about doing it.
I'm a lazy guy. I'll be like, yeah, take it to the shop. Take it to the shop and
take that $500 hit. Take that $500 hit from the shop.
Yeah, we'll Uber the money back. So I mean, I understand what people, because I've listened to a guy on Bigger Pockets, and he was saying he does all his maintenance work, on his house, so it saves him money. It does save you a lot of time, a lot of money, kills your time, but it saves you money, So I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it yourself, DIYs,
No,
that's one of me and Mahogany's biggest things that we go back and forth about. Like, okay, she's one of those people, she's huge into doing it herself, right?
Right.
And I'm like, just hire somebody to do it. Like right now, she's going out in the garage and she is going to sand down all these dressers that we bought, and then she's going to repaint them. They're going to look damn good after she does it, but I just don't have the time to do it. Let's throw this crap into place and let's get going. Let's make some money off this. It's just different mindsets, but she's really good at it. So
it's a good mix then. It's a good mix to have.
Yeah, we're a good mix, so it works.
Well, that's cool, man. You feel like stopping right here? You want to tackle another subject? What do you feel like doing?
Where are we at?
We're all over the map, dude. I don't know.
No, hour mark.
We are at about an hour and 5 minutes or so.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah, just
Okay.
yeah.
Because I know at 6 o'clock you said we have a guest, and it's like
yeah,
8 minutes till.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cut it short. Yeah, because we have a guest in 7 minutes. We need to prep him.
All right. We had a good show. LLT is blowing up, by the way. Just to let y'all know, we're blowing up. So it's time to cash in. But cha-ching! I'm just messing.
We do have some really big guests coming on. So yeah, we are blowing up.
Oh yeah, HOSTFULLY guys coming on, right?
Yes, sir. That's some big guests coming on.
That's huge. The HOSTFULLY guy. So we're getting, we're getting big time is what's going on over here. We're gonna have to start wearing sunglasses while we record and stuff,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, this was a good show, man. What are you doing over there? Got the Airbnb reservation going on?
Oh no, I'd already done.
Already done, Dizzle.
Yeah, she's up here asking questions, and those answers are about to be sent straight to her without a word from me.
Hey, real quick, I got a joke for you. Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
For drizzle.
Oh shit!
You already said that.
I told you that one.
Oh shit!
I caught myself too trying to cuss. Shish. Yeah, that's all I got. Well, thanks for listening to our awesome show, and please keep the feedback coming. Thank you so much, Gerald, for that awesome compliment. That really made my day when we get compliments like that, and yeah, props, mad props.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and subscribe, rate us on iTunes, email us liveletthrive@gmail.com, call us 469-300-9100, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. We have a Facebook fan page. You can join that. Follow us on Twitter. We're also on Stitcher. And also, go to sharebnb.com and check me out. You want to learn how to turn your timeshare into an asset, you can go on there and subscribe to my courses. You can also type in promo code. If you're a Live Let Thrive listener, you get 50% off everything. I already told you guys that. So sign up if you have a timeshare and hit me up if you want to learn how to rent that bad boy out.
Start making money. Come on. What you waiting for?
Yes, sir. Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.